What's up, Guru Nation? Welcome back to the Clinical Trials Guru.com. If this is your first time, thank you very much. It means a lot to me. If it's your second or 2000th time, thank you also. So the way this works, you can send me your questions. Most people email me, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. You can also call or text me, 949-415-6256, or social networks. Social media is great, people, right? Snapchat, I love it. Get on there. Add me wherever you like. Chances are I'm there. And then hit me up. I get back to everybody, and I don't always do a video, but sometimes I do. And especially if I think it's good or it can provide value for someone else out there. So today's question's about patient retention, right? Usually we talk about patient recruitment in clinical trials. Retention's kind of boring, but it's extremely important. It's probably, I wouldn't say more important than recruitment. It's just as important as recruitment. So right now we got a lot of difficult studies. It's extremely hard to find patients that qualify. That's just the way the market is right now in the middle of 2016. Time will tell if that will continue, if that trend will continue. But so it's difficult to recruit. But then the worst thing that can happen is you do all that work, you find someone that qualifies, they randomize, and then they don't come back for their next visit, right? I mean, this is what retention's all about. So this person asked, what is the best way to improve patient retention in your opinion? What is the most effective method to follow up? What would a CRO like to hear about effective patient retention methods at PSSV? So patient retention, first of all, it's not that complicated. It's literally getting someone to follow up with them on a regular basis. You can follow up with them excessively, right? That's fine. Just don't forget to follow up. So when I first started back in 2005, it's already been 11 years ago, I took over 3 studies as a study coordinator. I had like 12, on average 12 patients in each study. I literally had no help. I didn't know what was going on. Obviously, patient retention took a hard hit, all right? I wasn't following up. I didn't even know patients were supposed to come back. And so I was relying on them to remember their appointment. That's horrible. That's not what you want to do. And there's many sites that still operate this way because they have overworked coordinators. Coordinators forget. The PI is not involved. The best way to increase study participant retention is to have open lines of communication with them. Follow up. I used to say that a lot on this show. That's in my trailer. You can get into fancy systems like having a database of patients. Just follow up with them, right? Now, that might mean giving them a call. That might mean emailing them. That might mean finding them on social media. That might mean sending them reminder cards in the mail. Whatever the case may be, you need to follow up with them. Simple as that. If your coordinator's too busy, have the receptionist do it at the front. If the receptionist, or if you don't have a receptionist, get an intern to do it. Somebody at your site needs to have the task of following up with patients regularly, right? The next thing you can do is have some kind of a calendar system where you can put, it could be electronic, but then you get into like HIPAA. So I know a lot of sites are worried about that, as you should be. However, if you just put initials and a date, so that at least you know who that person is, but and you're not identifying the patient information that way. Like, we've used Google Calendars at our sites before. And especially if you're just doing it for yourself, like if you're the only coordinator, you can have the patient initials and what study they're for in your calendar app on your phone. Okay, but somebody's got to know when patients are coming in. So the root of the problem is lack of follow-up, and that's usually because somebody is either too busy to follow up, doesn't even think that it's a priority to follow up, and then they expect the patient to come back, and it stems from a lack of having open communication. So however that patient likes to interact with you, some patients respond well by phone calls, some patients respond well by texts, some patients email. Everyone has different preferences. You really got to find out what works for them and make sure that they come in. Another thing we do at our sites is we provide transportation, whether that be someone from the site driving the company car to pick up the patient and bring them to the office for their appointment, or sending an Uber to go pick them up, right? So that's another important strategy for retention, is making sure that you have transportation, okay? So those are the things that I would do. If I were a CRO, I would ask where you're getting the patients from to begin with, because, and I've never done a study on this, it's just something I know intuitively and anecdotally from what I've seen. You have better patient retention when the patients are recruited from the doctor, the PI's own private practice. So it's just because they're used to coming to see the PI anyways. They're a patient of his or hers in their private practice. They're not going to be lost to follow-up as often as a patient you recruited from an ad somewhere, okay? There's less context. There's less of a responsibility that the study participant feels that they need to keep their end of the bargain when it comes to participating in a clinical trial. And yes, they can quit at any time, but being lost to follow-up without letting anyone know is not the way we recommend a patient quits a clinical trial. You could let them know, hey, you can quit at any time. We just want to know why. You don't need to give us a reason why, but we would like to know ahead of time that you're not interested in the trial, so that we're not expecting you to come in for a visit and you just don't show up. So that's patient retention. It's really simple. I mean, don't spend money on programs or software unless it's free, right? If it's free, you definitely need a database of some sort, HIPAA compliant, FDA 21 CFR Part 11 compliant. I wouldn't spend money on this. I would use something for free. There's lots of platforms. There's lots of vendors in the industry that offer this. I'm working with one. I will let you know who they are shortly, but that's what I would do. Nothing fancy, right? Thank you, Guru Nation. Let me know what's worked well for you guys with patient recruitment. It just boils down to communication and follow-up. Simple as that, whether they want a text, a phone call, an email, whatever the case may be. All right, hopefully this helps. Thank you very much for watching, Guru Nation, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.